Hi guys, and welcome to another video. If you don't know, I'm in the Goodwood Festival of Speed car park, which right now is probably the best car park in the country for seeing nice cars. So I'm going to do a quick whiz around and have a look at some of the interesting cars here. This new Vanquish looks so juicy, and this is actually the Vanquish S, and it's the Volante version. Proper British luxury sports car, Grand Tourer. Problem with parking a car at Goodwood though is that the paint gets absolutely covered with dust. That's what I'm talking about. 360 Modena, classic Ferrari red with a cream leather interior, and the display cabinet back, which Ferrari are so renowned for putting on their cars. And of course this is actually the Spider model as well, so very, very nice. Lovely little dainty door handle there, which actually forms part of the engine air intake. I ate these. Yeah, I'd definitely take an R8 any day of the week, and this is the V10 as well. So wide, very cool. Actually looks like this one's got a modified exhaust on it. I can't confirm that for sure, but let's pretend it has. Cayman GT4, these are meant to be a really nice drive, mid-engine, rear-wheel drive Porsche, and not that expensive. I remember them selling for a lot more than retail after they just launched. Double GTR. You have to excuse the bike noises in the background. Goodwood is still going on behind. Look at that bonnet, look at the vents in it. Wow. Look at this XJS V12. That is so cool. Old school DBS Volante. Shut up. Another Aston Martin DBS. That makes three in about 20 feet apart from each other. SL63. Yeah, that's a bit of me, that. Black wheels on a white car. I like the spec. DB7 Vantage Volante. And a TV on a 400 SE. It just looks so weird. They look like a wedge of cheese to me. Bit of a cheesy car. Original Aston Martin V8. These are quite rare nowadays. Renowned for being hideously overpowered and uncontrollable. Escort RS, very cool. Normally I'd be like, ooh, S4, but in this car park, it doesn't really stand out. There's another 360 Spider. Much more subtle spec, this one. Like I've just stumbled into a Porsche dealership. There's one there, there's one there, there's one there. There's one there. Ooh, short wheelbase Defender 90. Price of these has gone up horrifically since they announced that they were discontinuing this model. Old school 911 Turbo S cab, very cool. I say old school, it's not that old. Triple black XKRS here next to another Jaguar XK. This looks really mean. He's even got a black plate on it. I'm not sure that's legal. Carbon bonnet vents as well, like that. A45 AMG next to an M3 with some definitely heavily spaced wheels on it. That's cool. The sticker even looks like it's in 3D. Look at that. Hyundai i30N. Love to have a go in one of these. So there's an amazing selection of cars in this 20 metre square box. We have a John Cooper Works Mini in the corner, a Triumph TR6 here, an M235i, McLaren 12C, Porsche GT3 RS, McLaren 570 GT, and a Porsche 911 GTS. Which one of these would you drive? I think, in all honesty, I'd have to take the Porsche. Especially in this green colour. Not sure about the gold wheels, but it has a roll cage in it. Which do you think would win a race out of these three? Drag race, I reckon the 12C might edge it. Round a track, I reckon the GT3 RS might edge it. Tuscan S here. I just think the exhaust look really strange, but it's sort of iconic for the car. Here we've got an original E39 M5. Gorgeous black M2 here. Looks like it's brand new, there's hardly a bug on it. Very nice. Not sure on the wheel choice, probably wouldn't choose these wheels myself, but I'd definitely have that car. I have been in one and it was frighteningly fast and sounded amazing. Cooper S JCW just looks really cool. Such a nice stance on these. If you've never seen the brake calipers on one though, it hardly fits in that wheel. The wheel was designed obviously specifically to fit that brake caliper on. So good luck trying to fit a custom set of wheels on these. 911 Turbo S cab. You wouldn't think it, would you? But this car can crack 200 miles an hour. Gold Nissan GTR? Or is it orange? I don't know. It's brand new and it looks amazing. This car park has a lot of hills in it. Well, actually it's just one big hill, but I keep walking up and down it to look at all these different cars. Hope you appreciate that. A Lancia, I think it's a Fulvia Sport. I've never seen one of these before. Favourite sleeper of all time, the 335D. I actually had one of these for a weekend and did a road trip to Wales in it. The torque from this engine and a great gearbox combo that it's got makes it a dream to drive. Mid-engine convertible competition, which one would you take? Porsche Boxster S or a Lotus Elise? Let me know in the comments below. Laguna with some red stripes around the wheels. Interesting. Okay, so far I've done 9 rows of cars and look how many there are. All the supercars in this car park seem to come in pairs. Here we've got a 650S parked next to a 488. Out of the two, I've honestly got to say I probably have the 488, but this guy's got some exhaust mod on his 650S, because that is not a standard McLaren exhaust. Definitely prefer the 650S facelift though compared to the 12C. Out of the two, it is a close call. I think the red of the Ferrari just does it for me. I've actually noticed that all these supercars here have these little business cards in them. Not sure what they say, and I'm not going to touch it because it's not my car. This guy's tax disc holder says, "I've paid my road tax, mend the potholes!" exclamation mark. I would imagine that potholes hurt a lot more in a car like that. Now, probably the most interesting car here is this Libertywalk BMW i8. It looks like it's for sale. It's actually got the price printed on a sticker in the window for those of you that can afford it. I think it's wedged on the grass. This is a Kia Stinger GT. It's a matte green wrap. It's got a few bubbles in it. Looks like a bit of a DIY job. Still, don't see that every day. Gorgeous blue colour 911 here. This is a Carrera 4, so the four-wheel drive 911. It's actually probably quite a drivable car, this one, because it's got the smaller wheels on it with a much higher profile tyre. And then here we have a lovely Aston Martin Vantage. I saw one of these at Alton Park in one of my videos, and absolutely everyone was swarming around it because it had just come out and it absolutely looks like a shark. If that was coming at you behind on a motorway, you'd definitely move out of the way. On any road for that matter, I'd move out of the way. Don't know what happens on the 2 Series. As soon as you chop the roof off and put a soft top on it, it just doesn't look as good, even if it is the M235i like this one. And the wheels look really small. 335i. Back in the day, this used to be quite a quick car, but nowadays the 3 litre turbo straight 6 doesn't make that much power for modern standards. But if you buy one of these, make sure you don't get it with the 19-inch wheels. These aren't the 19-inch wheels, but the 19-inch wheels were notorious for cracking. Very subtle M3 here. Almost went under the radar, but not quite. I gotcha. Possibly the most ugly car ever made, the Lexus Sc 430. They're meant to drive quite well, but just look at that. Oh. Fiat, if you want to lend me one of these, I'd love to have a go. I could compare it to my Mark III MX-5. This one actually looks really similar to the launch edition of the Mark III MX-5. With the red and the silver windscreen surround. Definitely sounds like an old school F1 car. Beautiful E-Type convertible, but the exhaust looks slightly different on this one. Normally they've got twin exit exhausts that come out just underneath the number plate next to each other. These seem to be spread out quite a bit. 435D Grand Coupe, complete sleeper that one. I think this is a 335D next to an M4 cab. I was correct, it is a 335D. Don't know how I knew that, just looked like one. Old school R8, I think this is the 4.2 V8 model. You can tell by the exhausts on these, the originals had quad exhausts. Wow, Formula 1 cars are really noisy. Aston Martin DB9 and another M235i convertible. Absolutely love the S2000, but not in this colour. This SL55 is really cool. I am tempted by these, but is it a bit of a drug dealer car? I don't know. Alpina B10 here. Don't see many of these about, they're quite rare. And that number plate must be worth a fair few quid as well. Lovely grey M140 just chilling here. I have driven an M140 and I have to say it was probably the most fun I've ever had in a car on the road. This paint is really interesting. It's not gloss, but it's not satin. Sort of in between. So I'm a fan of this. On a Porsche you can opt to have the numbers taken off the back, so you can either have like 911 or Porsche just written on there, and this guy's just gone for the clean looking Porsche. E63S here, another absolute sleeper. Wouldn't want to get into a drag race with that, even though it looks like a businessman's saloon. M240i. Can someone please explain to me why the 2 Series have smaller wheels than the 1 Series? I might just be completely making that up, but all the 2 Series in this car park seem to have really small wheels on them. Here we've got a 340i estate. Very strange engine for this car in my opinion. You've got an estate car and you put a 6-cylinder turbo petrol in it. I actually spent some time in a 440i convertible, so it's a power retractable hardtop, and that was really good fun, but it didn't feel like a sports car even though it had a convertible roof. It's more of a grand touring car. I'd definitely get this car with a 3-litre diesel engine as opposed to the 3-litre petrol, but you know, I do also drive a diesel. Don't know what it is about the GT3s, just everything about them screams high speed. The tyre gap is insignificant from the factory, look at that. Couldn't even get your fingers in there. Got another R8 here, this one's the V10. I was saying about the exhaust earlier, you can see this one's got a single round exhaust as opposed to the 2 round exhausts side to side. Lovely green Mustang here, this is designed to look like the Bullet Mustangs. Did these come from factory like this? That's a good question. This might be a factory Bullet Mustang. Lancia Fulvia HF. Here's a Ferrari 612 Scaglietti. I've never seen one of these before. This one I actually followed in and it's been driven over from France. Perfect car to do that trip in. Might need a few fuel stops though. 5-cylinder Focus RS. Absolutely love these. The size of the exhausts are amazing. These actually use a modified version of the Volvo T5 engine, and they were used in the UK traffic police cars. So this is actually, you could argue, with a really long stretch, it's actually got a police car engine in it. And there's a 3 Series estate with the correct engine, in my opinion. This car park does weird things to you. I'm just randomly walking past S3s, M3s, and XKRs, looking for something a bit more exciting, like that BMW M2 just there. Looks like there's a mist coming over the car park. That's just tyre smoke. Is what I was talking about, the 911 badges earlier. This guy's done it as well. Look at the spacing on those wheels. It's got BFG mud terrains on it. Proper tyre that. Not quite sure why. He's got the fluorescent stickers on this Hyundai. 430 Coupe, very nice. An Audi Q8. Not seen one of these yet, so this must be a really brand new one, and it's a 50 TDI, so second biggest engine choice, I think. Casually walking past a catering with a carpet on its roof. Lovely Boxster Spider here, next to another 911. This roof is interesting. Clearly does track days in it because he's got a noise test pass sticker on there. If you don't already know, guys, I have actually booked a track day in August in my MX-5, so please make sure you subscribe if you want to see that. We've actually got a Mark 6 Golf R here, so these are the 2-litre 4-cylinder, the first of the 2-litre 4-cylinders. The predecessor to this car was the R32, and these didn't sell that well because everyone loved the 3.2-litre V6. Helicopter. As I was saying, these didn't actually sell that well because everyone loved the 3.2 V6, which in turn means they're actually quite rare and worth quite a bit of money. I'd much rather have the newer Golf R or the R32. This is sort of my least favourite model. I see something through this gap, but I'm not really sure what it is yet. Okay, I'm stood right next to it and I'm still not really sure what it is. Okay, so it's a De-tomaso Guara. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Classic car fans will probably be screaming at me now. The only De-tomaso I know is the Pantera, so excuse me for not knowing this one. It's like a giant box with wheels and wedge-shaped. I've no idea how you can see the lights through those louvers. It's so wide. Probably because it's got a huge engine underneath there. Sorry I don't know much about this car. Never seen one in my life. It's got pop-up headlights though, that's cool. He wants a dusty car leaving video. He's staring at me like a weirdo. Not too sure what that number plate's meant to say. R32, yes. Next to an M6, so this is the V10 M6. These are absolutely huge. Make a very nice noise though. Tidy Golf R here. Look at the size difference between a Mustang GT and an MX-5. So this is a Focus RS 500. Now I remember looking at these when they first came out. They only built 500 of them, and I can't remember the power figures, but they're upped power from the standard Focus RS. This one's driven here from Belgium, but when these first came out, I absolutely loved them. I think they only did them in matte black. I've never seen another colour. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that looks mega. I hope it is a genuine RS 500 and not just one that's been made to look like an RS 500, because I'm really pleased that I've seen that today. Two M3s parked next to each other. Classic 912 here. Why do I say classic? I don't think they make a 912 nowadays. Another R8. That's a V8 as well, 4.2. I think this is one of these Vauxhall Monaros, or is it a Holden? It says LSA on the back, supercharged LSA. I'm terrible with car identification and I don't know why I do it. Another M140i here. I've got to say, it's probably the most common car in this car park. Here we've got a 125D, and I really do like the 125D. I think it's a great model. I wish they did a 135D, but BMW never did one, and they probably never will do one, because I reckon a 135D is going to be about 310 horsepower, I think. Diesel that gets 40 plus to the gallon would outsell an M140i. Call me crazy, but I genuinely think it would, because in the UK the fuel prices are pretty high and people would barely notice the performance between a 135D and a 140i. BMW need to do it because I think it would sell really well. That's Dom economics. Got a lovely TTRS here. This is the 5-cylinder model. Makes an amazing sound. Half a V10. I was actually chatting to a traffic officer at the Goodwood event, and he caught one of these doing 152 miles an hour down the motorway. Not that I condone speeding. That's a quick car. Interesting. I've just found an original Honda NSX. You do not see many of these about. Very, very nice indeed. Huge bonnet vent. Rear wing sort of reminds me of an XJ220. This new Fiesta ST has a mount tune sticker on it, so I wonder if it's got some mount tune improvements to it. Now, I've never seen any new Fiesta STs with a mount tune upgrade or performance package on it, so this is a first for me. There's a crazy green GT3 RS parked at the end of this row. New 3 Series, 320D. Starting to see a couple of these about. Looks really nice actually. Very conservative styling. Gotta say, I'm not a fan of the new grills. They're just too big and they just don't quite look right to me. There's an aerial Nomad just leaving. which I'm sure is really good fun in this car park. Now we've got a C63 here, and these are starting to come down in price, where you actually think they're getting quite affordable on the higher mileage ones, so I wouldn't mind one of these myself. And then, you know, M240, M135, Golf R, crazy car park. Okay, so that concludes my quick whiz around the car park here at Goodwood Festival of Speed 2019. A bit of a different video to me, but I thought it was too good an opportunity to miss. I think I covered most of the car park. My feet definitely feel like they have. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.